Good evening, United Real Therapy Army. Who are we? Where are we? Therapy Army. Listen, we're never going to die. We're Man United, we never die. But people, this has been in the making for a long time, people. This has been in the making for a long, long time. Cunha scores from a corner. That just tells you everything you need to know. Yeah. Well. He scores from a corner, and I think that sums up Manchester United. Red card was a red card, 2 yellow. I don't know why he's tried to win the ball like that when he's on a yellow card. He needs to be careful. But this is what happens when you hire a coach and you try and you say to him, you want a style of play. When you make the decision to keep on with a manager that had zero future with his football club. This is on Ineos, this is on the Glazers, because they both own the football club. This is on them, and this is on the players. This is not on Amorim. And if anybody tells you it's on Amorim, then I don't know what the F they're talking about. Manchester United need to change the way we play football. We've been trying to do that. The only coach that's tried to do that has been Louis van Gaal. So I'm afraid the people who kept with Erik ten Hag, those are the people that you need to blame. If you need to go and blame anybody, you need to blame the people who kept on with Erik ten Hag, where they should have sacked him at the end of the season, then not backing him not giving him a proper contract and getting behind him, knew that he was only going to get sacked. It's on those people. He's tried to install a style of play to players who have never been demanded to do the things that he's asking them to do. And that is how you play in modern football. So at this moment in time, this is not who you blame. I'm never going to blame Ruben Amorim. I blame the people who didn't get him in the summer and give him a pre-season to get his ideas across. So that at least we would have been a bit more ready, had more foundation, and maybe would have got players that could play his system. When you get a coach, right, even if you think it's Ruben Amorim's fault, you get a coach with a specific style of play and a system, and you ask him to come in, then you're saying now that you're not going to go and back him in a January, and you got no money and hiding behind fucking PSR bullshit. That just tells me everything where you need to go. Manchester United deserve this. The club is rotten to the core. I've been telling you this since the birth of this channel, that there's something rotten to this core of this football club. And you can't undo all of that work just like that because you got a coach who plays wing backs. You cannot. The players who come and ripped us off, the agents who come and ripped us off, the bankers who control this football club, now Ineos who are now making cuts and making working class people suffer because of what the bankers and the Glazers have done to this fucking football club. All of them need to go. Your anger tonight should be directed at them. At the end of the day, Bruno Fernandes deserved the 2 yellows. It was 2 yellows. I can't complain about that. I can't come on here and complain about 2 yellow cards because I believe those 2 were yellow cards. So, things going to have to get even far worse. Tonight we sit now 14th. They're going to have to get much worse to get better. Sean, how did you see that game? What time is it over there in the US?
It's just noon. It's like 11:30. So it's not too early. The
That's
game
not bad.
started, yeah, the game started at 9:30 a.m. I don't know, man. I'm really disappointed. Quite honestly, I'm very, very disappointed for a myriad of reasons, right? So I think what I hear you say largely to me sounds like commentary, right? Because I'm not looking for somebody to blame specifically because I don't see this as a grand like unified theory of the case, right? I'm
It
looking at
is.
each
I'm
game.
afraid, Sean, it is. The
No,
chickens
yeah,
have come
I
home to
understand that you
roost,
see
my
it that
friend.
way.
You
I
want to fail
understand.
to ignore that, but the chickens have come home to roost. They have.
I,
This has
I,
been decade in the making of the decision making of the type of players that we've been buying and the type of people who are making those decisions.
I
Even the
understand that.
idea of not getting rid of Erik ten Hag when everybody knew they were interviewing even Amorim. Instead
So
of getting
so
him in
I
the
I
summer,
take everything that you're
they
saying.
failed to make the decision and they bought in a guy who plays a specific brand of football that needs specific type of players.
I
And
take everything that you're
reception,
saying.
play that
I
football.
agree with you. I take everything that you're saying, right? And I largely agree with that position, like to an extent. But I just, as far as the analysis goes, right, I don't agree that the chickens are coming home to roost per se, because the chickens have come home to roost. They came home to roost 7-0 against Liverpool 2 years ago. They came home to roost in the down times of Ole. They came home to roost when David Moyes first, his calamity was first, like, made public to the world. The chickens have been coming home to roost pretty much every year or every 2 years, right? And for one reason or the other, everything bad that has happened to us over the last 10 years can fit into this argument that we've been having about the legacy of the Glazers ownership and the failures since he took over. So that's why, like, for me, it's just too convenient, right? And I like to look at each game on its own. Who has more of an influence directly in the outcome? I can tell you for a fact, Nuruddin, that as soon as I saw the lineup today and I saw Diogo Dalot and I saw Bruno Fernandes in those positions, right? What have I been saying about Bruno? I don't want to see him running down that left channel. He's ineffective there. Dalot is our weak link. Ericsson is our best midfielder. Everybody has been clamoring to see Ugarte and Casemiro in midfield because we need some more stability. We need some more legs. You can say whatever you want about the squad and everything, but you will have to explain to me why Nottingham Forest came 17th last year and now they are looking like one of the best teams in the league this year without signing a whole new set of players, right? There's a lot more to football than the textbook things that people like to focus on, right?
Sean, can I just remind you one thing, please? Nottingham Forest had some of the biggest turnaround of players in the history of the Premier League. They have literally broken the rules, took the deducted points and everything else that came with it to get players in and players out of this football
right.
club.
So that was
Picked the wrong
no.
club
So
to make an example of.
that would be a good rebuttal if we were not talking about 2 seasons ago, right? That was what they did
No, it was
when they
last
first
season.
came.
They were doing it last season.
Last season they had
players in. Last season they did exactly what Chelsea did towards the beginning and the end of last season. They were clearing out and bringing in loads of players. They broke PSR rules. That's why
they did that 2 years ago. I don't want to get bogged down in nothing for it. The point I'm simply making is that for me, I'm looking at each game on its own. I'm taking the manager at his word, right? I'm taking his analysis, his initial analysis when he first came to this United team, that he would need to earn, quote unquote, earn time, right, at the club because he understood the situation and he diagnosed and analyzed it perfectly, right? So, and that's why I feel comfortable expressing and localizing my disappointment at one, the players on the pitch, and two, the coaching decisions basically that the manager is making, right? Because I mean, and it's too late for us to be reacting to Ten Hag, but for the time that I was Ten Hag in, or that some of us were Ten Hag in, the argument was that, oh, these players can do a lot more for the manager, and I was told, reliably informed by people, that actually no, the players could do better than the manager was getting out of them, and we needed somebody who would implement a style of play, blah 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 blah, which we are seeing now, right? And Amorim, instead of choosing one side or the other, chose by himself to walk a tightrope, basically to walk the tightrope of acknowledging that there will be pain, there will be suffering, but we have to earn the time. I don't like this suffering. Like I understand that like from some people's perspective it's necessary and it's something that the club has to go through and the tickets are coming home to roost. I just don't agree that entirely that is necessary. I think the confidence problem in this dressing room is they need to see a psychologist, right? Because I think any player who comes, regardless of whatever happens, anybody who comes to the dressing room is going to face the same pressures, right? And it has to be fixed from this very moment, which is why I think Amorim is going about it this way. I just wish like he wouldn't rely so much on players like Dalot and Bruno. I'm glad that we're not going to see much of Bruno for the next few games. But I don't know why. I don't know if it's in Bruno's contract or if it's Ineos that's telling him to keep playing Bruno. But I thought we were finally free of the Bruno every day, all the time shackles, and yet we're still seeing it. I think Bruno Fernandes should be fined by the club for abandoning his teammates like he did today. Because that was extremely irresponsible of him. The way we considered that red card and the position that he put
Man,
everybody
what
in.
New Year's off, man? Man, what is some Christmas time with his family, man?
He's
Don't be
he's a
too
he's
harsh,
he's a
man.
joker. He's an
Don't be too
embarrassment
harsh,
to
bro.
he's an
You're a
embarrassment
bit
to
too harsh,
himself
lad. You wanted some
and
time
the club.
alone, man. You wanted some family time to celebrate Christmas. Bumbaye, come in. I want to hear what you thought about the game.
Yo,
Let me just get a super chat first. Ten Hag assembled this shit of showers. By the way, Ten Hag bought in 19 players or 18 players to the football club. I think permanent is about 15 players. We should build a statue for Ralph Ranier, Blurring. Tom says United got two of the worst keepers in the league. Talk to me about Unani. You know how embarrassing it is as a goalkeeper.
anything, bro, anything Bayern can do, I can do better. That's what that was. The hell, bro.
Talk to me even by it.
Do you know what I think you gave me? The illness, man. I'm mashed now. I've got it as well. So I'm sat here watching the game, yeah, and I'm talking to myself, and I'm thinking, I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Objectivity I have to hold on to it, and I keep going back to it because he's new and he's mid-season. The usual bullshit. You have to give him time. But the other part of me is just looking and thinking, man, 10 years of what? Of what? I'm bored to death. The most boring team on earth to watch. Do you know what I mean? You work all week. You just want to decompress, watch a game. I don't mind getting clipped anymore. Just let us get something. You know, the Tottenham game. Just let's see a few goals, a few chances. I'm tired, bro. And you just look at this and you think, geez, it's just the same shit. And what I'm doing is this, me. I realized today, do you know all I've been doing for the last few years? Come on this show or I talk to the boys. And I'm almost like a spokesman for the team and the manager and the players and the club. How? You know what? This was good today. We did all right. I wanted that. I like that. Let's keep. I'm just like a fucking oracle of football, but I'm not. I'm just analyzing games, but I'm not enjoying anything about the games. I don't enjoy watching Man United at all. I hate watching us. It's boring. It puts you to sleep. It's labored. It's crap. We can't even do anything. It's so shit. Wolves are shit, man. Wolves are no good. But against us, everybody's good. Everybody's good. And you just don't know what's coming. Are you going to play good today? And then you know what? I'll be honest with you. I agree with Amorim one thing. Now I'm on the WhatsApp group with the boys, the same group you're in. They're arguing amongst themselves. It's the manager. It's the system. It's the players. Truth is, God only knows what it is. Because if somebody actually knew, they would have solved it by now. It's been 10 years, bro. We just had 2.5 years of just the ugliest football on earth. And we waited and gave time and backed and patient. And it's just the same old shit again. Amorim, I said to
Like,
Sean when he come first, I said, listen,
Khalid,
6 months' time,
1 second,
maybe
Bumbaye.
we're having this conversation. He's on a scrap heap.
1
Maybe.
second, Bumbaye. Khalid, I'll take relegation. Get rid of the fucking Jim the Rat, quarter sexuals, and the fucking Glazers.
Bro,
I'll take it all day.
look, at this point,
I'll take it.
it's
I swear to God, I'll take
bro,
it.
at this point, relegation, it's not, it don't really matter anymore, man. Football should be an
We're
entertaining
14th,
sport.
baby. We're 14th.
14th, bro. And you
We're
don't know where the
14th,
next result's
man.
coming from. You don't know where
Bumbaye.
the next result's coming from.
Bumbaye. Things don't happen
Oh,
in a vacuum. This has been in the making for a decade. This channel was set up to tell the fan base that there's something rotten to the core at this football fucking club. And unless we get rid of that rotten core, that rotten tumor at the heart of this football club, we're never gonna succeed.
look, this manager is gonna lose his friggin' hair.
Oh, it's already gone great.
Listen, I'm telling. Look, like I say, it's not about whether you like a guy. If someone hates Mourinho, that's fine. I like Amorim. But that doesn't mean shit, really. He could be a bad manager that doesn't know what that's not going to fix anything. He could be. Obviously, now it's way too early. But the frustrating thing as United fans, what it is, we've been having to go from process to needing time to process to needing time because of the interruption of sacking managers, buying 5 to 10 new players. And every time you do that, you have no choice. You have no choice but to sit back and say, right, bend over, let's hope, let's see. And that's all it is. And we're on that same carousel again now. And it's going to start now. It's the system. People don't like the three. We can't play it with these players. It's the players ain't good enough. It's the manager. He's not good enough. He's come from Sporting. He don't know what he's doing. It's the same shit we heard for the last 10 years. But the truth, what I don't know what it is. That's me. I'll be honest. I don't know what it is. I just want to see some decent football. I just want to be entertained, bro. Honestly, wallah, I just want to see something that I'll walk away, like get off my seat a bit. Something decent. Not five
Bumbaye,
star, but you can't even
Bumbaye,
ask for that, bro.
Bumbaye.
Oh,
Tell you
yeah.
somebody lassie just wraps it up for you here.
Hey,
I
go
had
on.
a coach mid-season that
Yeah.
plays completely different style of play. He
Yeah.
needs specific profiles after keeping a guy that should have been sacked, who they spent 150 million during the summer. Clowns.
Can I just ask you a question? This is for everybody. We've been going on last year, right? Man United's got financial problems. There's money problems. Football in general, it was the least spending season in a long time. You know, is this manager come in to that meeting and have they said to him, you know what? We'll get you a whole new team. We'll get you 7, 8 players if you need to. We believe we can do that for you if you need it. Or have they come in and said, look, we've invested a lot of money. There's a lot of young players there and some experience. We'll get you a couple, but we're not overhauling because we don't have the money to do that. And even the players that are paid medium at this club, you need to find a club that's going to take them and pay them the same wage. Do you understand what I mean? Because let's say the logos, he's not going to Barcelona. He's going to go to like a mid-table club. Are they going to be able to pay the 80, 90, 100,000 a week that he's on? It's the same problem that you have because our wage structure is so high. Even the lowest ones are paid a lot higher than the teams they could prospectively go to. So
Bumbaye.
I don't know. What's the
Bumbaye,
agreement
1 second. Alien Tenno, have you got Tom Journalist's one's number? Please let me know in the chat if you've got Tom's number. Listen, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but don't post it in the chat. Put it in the private.
No, of course, don't post it in the chat. Just get in touch with me on Twitter. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm not angry. I'm not gonna scream. I'm not gonna shout.
No
I
point.
just think it's funny. I'm not gonna lie to you. You
Not
either
worth
laugh
it.
or you cry, and I choose to laugh.
Yeah.
I've been in the house, stuck in the house for the past 3 days.
Exactly, bro.
And the football that these boys have saved up for me in 2 games in a row when I'm stuck indoors.
Jamie, man, don't write a letter.
Absolutely
Don't waste your
sensational.
time. Take up gardening. Take up knitting. It's more action in that. Trust me, man. It ain't even worth it. The players are gonna get their dough. Shit's gonna crack on.
People,
Where's the next 3 points coming from?
people, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna hit Newcastle are on fire after their win today. They're on amazing.
That's our next game, I think.
Liverpool top. They're gonna win tonight. Probably gonna win the league. And we're battling relegation, people. So strap in.
You know what that was?
You come to the right channel. This is the therapy I made.
You know what that was?
I can tell you what I watched. I watched a couple of good films, you know. I watched Die Hard 2. What else did I watch? I watched a series called Madness on Netflix. Good watch. But people, please, there's nearly over 300 of you in here. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're just going to sing, we'll never die, we'll never die, we'll never die.
I'm not singing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not singing shit. Listen, all you got today was an Amorim job. You got rim job. That's what you got. Busted up, licked up. There was nothing in the first half. The whole team was garbage. They don't know what they're doing. It's just dead. The City performance is the good performance. Bournemouth was dead. You can tell after 20 minutes, and it's the same shit today, bro. Is not working. It's gonna need time. Time. We'll keep going with time. But bro, these performances are shocking, and he's not getting any points on the board at the minute. So the pressure is gonna start because a lot of fans are not like, you know what? They're pissed off already from the past. And my man's taking over mid-season, and he's playing like this, and we're getting no points, bro. Not scoring goals, conceding goals. What's
Listen,
going on?
big up Amorim. Amorim says we can't control games like the others that we have lost. I think we were always in control of the game, not always dominating, but in control. And some things, set pieces, the sending off was hard on us. Well, that's your captain, my friend. That's your captain. Ineos, the Glazers, and every other manager that's come to Manchester United has always played this guy. I've always said the same reason it's going to be. We have to be professionals. The same guys winning or losing. I have to be stronger. I will continue with my idea till the end. Big up to
bro.
Andrew says Ruben exposing how rotten this club is from the top. These mercenaries, including Mount Shaw, should be ashamed to collect their wages. Scumbags. Big up, Andrew. Appreciate you. People, please smash a like. Subscribe to the channel. I think we're almost not that far away. We're about 50 away from 12K 100. And that's why we don't give a damn how many subscribers we've got on the whole, because we want to grow small and grow consistent with the community that we have. This channel is not for the faint-hearted. If you come here, come to be hammering out, then you're not being paying attention. This channel was set up to expose who the Glazers are, and now we've got Jim the Rat and everybody else in here. And now we need them both out of the football club, and I am willing to take a relegation to get rid of them because they are rotten. The Glazers, the culture that they enabled, that came from them since Fergie retired. How can you let the guy who managed the whole club retire and then let the CEO retire as well? How do you do that? They did that. Bankers took over. We've had it for a decade. Ineos will fancy a bit. And now the morale, I speak to people who work at the club, the morale is at the bottom. It's at the bottom. They're sacking people right, left, and center. More redundancies coming in the new year. So I ain't feeling sorry for these multi-millionaire scumbags, right? I'm not feeling sorry for them. For me, you can twist it, shape it, however you want it. Manchester United is rotten. You get rid of the tumor that is rotten. You cut that out. You do a surgical procedure, cut that out. We will be back to being a normal football club because we're not that at this moment in time. I like Calistes. And I say it, and I've been saying it. I've been saying it, and I'll say it again. You do not keep a manager when you interviewed other managers and you let it be known you were doing that. And then you bring in a guy who's got specific style of play with player profiles that have never played that system before. And then you wonder where we are. So, United fan base, I know you're hurting. I know it's damaging. But this club don't give a F about any of us. So don't lose sleep all over it. Let's just analyze what we see on the football pitch. What did you think about the game?
Yeah, it is what it is. It's disappointing. It's diabolical. But there's no point. I don't even get angry anymore. I know what to expect more or less. Until everything is sorted, grown up, I'm not expecting much from this football club, to be honest. I said this. I said that the season was pretty much done. It was just for Amorim to actually just assess what he needs and what he needs to let go. If he cannot do that, then he's gonna be another victim, unfortunately. And it's whether if Ineos are willing to back him in order to do that going forward. That's still, the jury's still out with regards to that. So we don't really know what we're gonna get. But what I can tell you is that people need to strap themselves up because this is gonna get much more worse. If you didn't think it would get this bad, it's gonna get bad, really bad. And it's years and years of decay. decades of it, and unfortunately, now we're feeling the pinch, and when you do not solve something when as early as possible, when it decays, it becomes much more harder to solve, and you end up, this is what's happening at Man United. You end up having a situation that we're currently having right now. You have to when you address something, you have to address it wholeheartedly. Every football club that were basically in the mud, they did a whole 360 turn to solve their problems. With Man United, we're trying to do it bit by bit. You can't do that. You'd rather take the pain for a season if you can at least eradicate everything. That signifies failure. And we didn't do that. We're always doing it half, bit by bit, window by window. You can't. You have to drastically solve something. That's why Ralph Ragnick said it himself, that you have to get rid of 11 and bring in 11. So it sounds like a madness thing, but when you know that the problem is that bad and you've assessed every corner of where the rot is, and you realize, you can't just cut one hand. You have to actually cut off the whole entire body. You have to burn the whole thing down before you rebuild it again. And at Man United, that's the exact situation. It's already been diagnosed. So I don't really know, what more to say, because we already know what the problem is, and all of it has to be eradicated. And unfortunately for Ineos, they're finding this out very late. They didn't do their due diligence clearly. They came in here and they thought they would walk in and then everything will just solve itself out. This was a job for someone who was ready to tear down the entire thing straight from the get-go and just build from scratch, because clearly the mess is still there. So it is what it is. This game was there's just many more games we're gonna have. Unfortunately, Noradine, you guys are gonna be frustrated. I don't even get frustrated anymore. For me, it's like we go into every game and it's basically it's a lottery. You don't know what you're gonna get. More or less, the football's gonna be atrocious. That's a guarantee. But more or less, you don't know what you're gonna get in terms of the results. Man United may, if nothing in January drastically is done somewhat, I think we may be fighting for relegation. We will, because there's no way you're getting the amount of points that we're getting, and you're not nowhere near the bottom of the Premier League, as history has suggested. So I've made peace with that. Until this club sorts itself out, we're gonna be mediocre. We're gonna just delve into mediocrity. So a lot of these players need to go. A lot of people behind the scenes who aren't performing need to also go. They need to be assessed. And if Ineos were serious about this, instead of just looking at a new stadium, a stadium ain't gonna solve this. They need to seriously, fix up things on the pitch. No one's gonna wanna pull up. You aiming to build 100K seater stadium. No one's gonna wanna watch this bullshit. To be honest, and I did say that because even at Old Trafford, I watched in the previous games at home, there have been empty seats. This is why I've been telling people that it's gonna get rough. And fans are gonna get fed up, because they're gonna realize that it's the cost plus the entertainment. There's no really return, on what you're paying for. You're literally paying for just to see Man United play, and that's all you're paying for, essentially, just to be part of the crowd. But you're not really paying to be entertained in any form or shape. Sports is an entertainment business, so we lack that factor as well. So that's gonna hurt us going forward. So whatever they're trying to do, they need to make sure they fix it up here first before they start thinking about building new huge stadiums and whatnot. But yeah, unfortunately, Wolves are incredibly bad. We just worse. But we did say that they have the new manager bounce may get them the victory. We did state that in the previous show. So yeah, it's disgusting. But honestly, I've said that if we really wanted something really, really different, we should have got Sir Jim. I mean, not Sir Jim, the Qatar. They were the only real option, because you get rid of the Glazers, you start from scratch, and they were ready to do that. So with Ineos, you really don't know what you're gonna get, because you've seen them, how they've been running Nice and all these other clubs. They don't know what they're doing. So you're hoping basically that they'll turn this around or maybe have learned from their previous mistake. It was more of a what you want to call it, more of a chance with them. Whereas you knew what you were gonna get from the Qataris. So it is what it is, man. I've made peace with Man United, and we're gonna be This is gonna be mediocrity. You know what I do? I don't even watch the games anymore, man.
We've got, bro, 18 games, yeah? That's exactly halfway through, let's say. We're on a great run of losses here against, not the best teams in the world. Is there a possibility, seriously, I mean, I'm just going worst case here, that, we lose the next 3-4 games, that 8 point from the relegation third becomes like 2 points, and the football's pretty terrible. We're still conceding. We're not looking like we're scoring fluidly. Is there a concern where this guy's job could be jeopardized? I'm just hypothetical. I'm not talking anything about sacking anybody. I like him, time.
Yeah.
What else can I do? Is there that scenario, though? Would they get scared enough to think, hang on a minute, we need Sean Dyche to save us, or Sam, come back out, Big Sam? You know what I mean?
You see what I said even in the previous show, Bumbaye. What I said was that this could be messy for Amorim as well. If he in January does not state, listen, I may need a bit of a drastic. We may need to go drastic here, because this situation is not going to solve itself. Not now. If he tries to play the politics and say, now we can only sort out 3 players, we can get rid of 3 and then maybe try and bring in 1 or 2. He needs to come out and say this. I can't fix this. I'm sorry, guys. Like we may need to do something serious here. I think that's the only thing that can save him, because the previous managers, what they did, they were trying to play the politics, and that's where you fail. Because if you're trying to play and try and please them at the same time, guess what? The results will not please any one of you. Both of y'all are gonna lose out. So he needs to be up front and tell them this is what I've seen, and no one can fix this, not even I. And I'm admitting it to you guys that I can't do any of this. So certain men need to go. And that's my demand, because at the end of the day, he's still within, he still has somewhat of a power, you understand, to veto a lot of things, to say, you know what, I've just came in, you've brought me in, and you've brought me in to assess what is wrong and what is right? So please, now that I've drawn up a list, I've given everyone a chance, I've done everything I possibly can you now, is it time for you guys to assist? But luckily, funny enough, he even said it. He said it in his press conference that, in a subtle way to say, you know what, I need help here. I can't do this alone. I need help. I need serious help, because this is a bad situation and it's beyond comprehensive. So I'm hoping. I'm just hope at this point it's hope. Because you don't know how these guys think. You don't know how Ineos think. They may try and cut corners. Like what they've been doing in terms of all the bad decisions they've made. Now fans are forced to pay a certain amount of money for tickets now, and they're sacking other people to try and keep up with the FFP. So at this point, we don't know. None of us actually really do know, unless you're actually behind the scenes and working for the football club.
Leicester, a clip in Liverpool. Jordan Ayew after 6 minutes at Anfield.
Big up. Let me just get to Alien Tenno. Did you hear what I said? Please, can you contact me on Twitter or on Insta? Can you contact me on Twitter or Insta? Can you let me know if you got Tom's number, please? It's important. Don't post it on here though. Listen, at the end of the day, somebody's here to don't leave Ineos out of this. Oh God!
Do you know? I tell you what, I've got. Do you know one problem?
So what are we already? Amorim out.
Some people, a lot of people are Amorim out. Yeah, a lot of people. Listen. How many likes we got? Even 200 likes on the video yet? If you get 200 likes on the video, I'll do the poll, because I want to know how many of the other fans are saying Amorim out, and people who are blaming Amorim. I really want to hear from you. So come on, people. Let's do it. But for me, if you think this is Amorim, then I swear to God, I can't help you. I cannot help you. If you think this is on any specific manager in the last 10 years, it's the decisions that managers are being allowed to get away with. It always goes back to the ownership. The ownership. the decision makers who make the decision at this football club. And I told you about Ineos. I've been telling you about Ineos, but some of you have been doing the ping-pong, the absolute twerking for Ineos. You've become the quarter sexuals, mate. Ineos. You've become Ineos sexuals. A lot of yous. You love Ineos. You defend Ineos. And
So
look,
I mean,
Ineos have got us.
far
They've
be it
been
from
in
me to
charge
tell,
for a year. For a
far,
year now.
far
It
be it
was
from me to
this
tell
time
anyone
last year
how
up
to
to a
support
week.
the team.
So people, please, I'm ill. I don't be here. I've been trapped in the gaff. I don't need anybody to come and bloody see me. I don't want to give this horrible flu to anybody. So smash the likes, folks, and don't add insult to illness. Let's get to over 200 likes. Go ahead, Bumbaye. You got the floor.
Yeah, I'm thinking, man. Is there even any point at this juncture of me analyzing? And it's such a wreck. You know how much 2 games can change the perception since City. But I always feared for putting Kobe Minu next to Ugarte, and I feel that he might not be cutting it, bro. He's a good player. He's got a swagger about his play, but something today they were closing him down in his face. He had a torrid game, and it's not his first one. I don't think Kobe Minu should be starting next to Ugarte in midfield anymore. Because what Amorim thinks he's going to get from him, he's not even having or seeing the ball with the type of time to do what Amorim wants. He's getting killed. He's getting shut down quickly today. Every time they're on his back, he lost the ball so many times. And he's not able to cover ground good. He's always chasing and he's out the game with one ball. A lot of that from Kobe Minu today. Maybe you should start thinking about either. I never thought he's gonna be a guaranteed starter, man. Jarvis was on there and you was on, and I said I don't know if Kobe's. He was fundamental before with Eric, but I don't think it's gonna happen this time. And I'm a little bit worried about his performances, and I don't think he should be starting next to Ogate because he's making Ogate's job even harder. Think we need somebody different. There maybe move Kobe Minu up a little bit. Obviously, there's a lot of other crap. I'm just making that point.
I
I
mean,
don't know
that's
if you guys agree or disagree.
it's a fair point, now, right? And
Mm,
I think the idea that what Amorim needs to do is set himself on fire, basically, and declare that he can't do the job with players that he's likely to be stuck with next season.
yeah.
And that's the path. I think that would titillate some fans. It would get us excited, give us something to talk about. But on next year,
Mm,
like Nuruddin, where you want to see the club relegated, and everything burnt down before we can actually go forward, then I don't think that will be of much use to anyone. I think all these different managers that we're talking about have failed for different reasons.
mm,
Um, and it's kind of hilarious, right, that we find ourselves in this position. Um, where we have a manager that we all wanted, generally who has done what we wanted, gotten removed some players that we wanted out of the squad, and yet, we still look the way we do. The idea that like the solution for us right now is to then players that we just signed in last season or last summer, 2 summers ago, sell them all at losses. Essentially, it's just not going to happen. I think Amorim took this job backing himself, backing
mm,
his experience, backing his tactical nous, his ability to communicate with players and to motivate players. He backed himself, and he was paid big bucks, and he has to earn
mm,
that money, right? So I'm looking at him to find a way to get the best out of the squad that he has. Fine, play your style of play, but
mm.
don't ignore the fact that Ericsson has been our best midfielder, um, essentially
Manager,
for
you
two
mean?
years or so. And what do you say, Bumai, sorry?
You said Eric Ten Hag's been our best midfielder.
Ericsson.
Ericsson,
Ericsson.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, not Ten Hag.
Apologies.
Let's
Apologies.
not rehash. Let's not dig up the ghost
We're looking
of
for
Ten Hag
anybody
again.
to whack over the
Um,
head at this point, bro. Oh dear.
Ericsson, or the fact that as you were mentioning, Ugarte and Kobe Mino, sometimes it looks good when we're in possession, but out of possession, they don't look so good together, right? Casemiro and Ugarte looked really good when they played together for 2 games under Rude. So the manager, I think, has some responsibility here. There's just for me no world in which he throws his hands up and says, "Well, Ineos, unless you get rid of everybody here in the squad, I can't do anything for you." There's absolutely no way that he planned in his mind that we're going to lose to Wolves, going to lose to Nottingham Forest, going to drop
Yeah,
points at Ipswich. I'm sure he envisioned having a tough time, but I'm
yeah,
pretty sure he saw himself having a tough time around seventh or eighth position.
yeah.
Not 14th or 15th or relegation, as we likely we'll find ourselves. So I mean, the ruthlessness that a lot of people have been clamoring for. I just don't see how we can now all of a sudden kick that to the side. I think the seriousness that we're looking for means seriously this United team, the manager, any so in January, for example, right? We absolutely cannot have a January of no activity. All the money that they've saved by starving the launch staff at Old Trafford or cutting costs here and there, that money has to be directed towards something useful in January, in the bare minimum, right? We need squad reinforcements. We need a striker that is more interested in striking than wrestling the defender. We need a left wing back, right? We need another number 10, somebody to play where Bruno is playing. Like look at how Cunha basically today. Like that's who we need, or somebody like that we need in the team. So yeah, Ineos have to step up in the summer, but like so does the manager. With all due respect to everybody's feelings right now. So does the fucking manager. So do the players on the pitch. There's absolutely no world in which it's acceptable. Again, unless you're the type of person who believes this is necessary pain that we have to go through. From my perspective, it's not acceptable for us to be 16th or 17th in the table, and no promise of a future reward would justify that present type of situation.
You know,
They got
just
Ben.
going back
No,
to the
Bombay, 1 second. Bombay, 1 second. I just want to welcome in Ben. Ben, up the
evening, Ben.
Irish. How you
Up
doing?
the Irish.
How's the crowd's Christmas other than the football? Listen, don't worry about these overpaid millionaires. Don't worry about them. They'll take care of themselves. But how's family? How are you?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely
evening.
wonderful evening. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, great evening.
Great evening, mate, should we say? Yeah, family's good, bro. Had a good Christmas. Yeah, plenty of drinks, and today I probably watched more my pint glass than the United game because that was an absolute abysmal performance. And first things first, I got to start off with Bruno. He came from Sporting like Cristiano. I can't believe this player is at Manchester United, mate. Now I'll say this. See when we signed him from Sporting, I was one of the only, well, there's probably obviously several fans that were like me. I didn't like the signing, but everyone said, "What are you on about? He's the best player for Sporting and all this, all that." And then the season after he leaves, Sporting go on and win the league. So I'm telling you right now, I've United have had such bad recruitment in the years, and I've been so pissed off at every single one of them. But this guy you may as well call as it is. I do have an agenda with Bruno, but I'm actually getting sick and tired of this man. Honestly, at my club, he's the most annoying person to watch. I just think even at the start of the game, he already gave away about 6 or 7 times in the first 12 fucking minutes, and I just kept saying, look, why can't Mainu not play where Bruno is and play Mainu and Ahmad in the 10 and then give Casemiro and Ugarte a chance in the midfield? Why can he not do this? Because Mainu was out of breath after even 25, 30 minutes. He was constantly pressing too high, and see when he was pressing back, you can just tell he was so quiet. No, not quiet. Sorry, tired. Sorry, and I just think I felt we controlled the whole game. I did think we controlled the game. I think Wolves got about 10 minutes towards the end of the first half. They got a wee bit of control, but we controlled majority of the game. But the problem is the attack. The attack is absolutely ridiculous. Bruno and Garnacho, even Garnacho when he came on, he just couldn't give a shit. He could not give two shits that he plays for this club. Even Hoyland as well. Like, you know, I just feel like I'm watching Kurt Angle, like from WWE. He's just wrestling, just keeps constantly wrestling players, and I've had enough. And see with Hoyland as well, like he has the most important thing to be a forward obviously in modern day football is have a good first touch. Hoyland does not have a good first touch at all, and don't even get me started with Onana. By the way, oh my god, what is he doing in that box? What is he doing in that box? Give that man a freaking pint of Guinness, and I'd probably do better than him, mate.
Ben,
Unbelievable.
they said he's going to revolutionize the way we play.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
You know how much, listen, even as Sunday League, Saturday League goalkeepers, you know how embarrassing it is to concede from a corner kick?
Embarrassing. Yep. And Bayern did the exact same. Bayern did the exact same. We have literally got the two worst keepers in the league. I know obviously United fans will probably say, oh, we've got clean sheets. I couldn't give a shit about clean sheets, mate, because this man is he's just an absolute embarrassment to our club. Embarrassment. And you know what? I was watching Said's match reaction, and he looks like he's going on the wavelength as you, Nerd, he's like says, maybe I might have to join tides with Nerd by getting relegated, because obviously I know you want to get relegated to get the Glazers gone. And like, don't get me wrong, don't we all want the Glazers gone. That's the main thing. But the bottom line is, like, you know, once Ten Hag got sacked, I knew I predicted this was going to happen. And the thing is, I'm actually starting to believe that it's actually kind of hard whether keeping Ten Hag or giving Bruno Fernandes a contract. I don't know which one was worse. It's so hard because I'm just sick and tired of Bruno, man. I really, really am. He's actually killing me, mate. He's actually really... May as well go to my deathbed already, mate, by watching him, because I just can't watch him, man. I can't. So hoofball player. And look, at the end of the day, I'm ready to suffer as a United fan. I don't really... I predicted this was going to happen, or a draw. Like, probably a draw at best. I can see a 1-1 game. But look, at the end of the day, we all need to suffer. I predict this is going to happen, and Amorim needs time. He needs obviously make all the mistakes he can make, and Ineos just need to back this man in January and summer. But I don't know where we're going to get anyone in January. But I don't know. Just it's all eyes on Ineos, not all eyes on Amorim. All eyes on Ineos. Big up, everyone.
My problem with Bruno is not even like the hoofball thing, right? I think he's a good player. He's just a little bitch. Like, that's the problem with Bruno. Like, he doesn't. He just is not. He's not captain material. He's always the loudest whiner, basically. When the going gets tough, Bruno is complaining the loudest. That's not what you need in the captain. Nobody in that dressing room looks to Bruno and says, "Oh, this guy is motivating me to be a better player." If you're a United player in that dressing room and you look at Bruno, chances are you see Bruno either crying or on the floor or whining or complaining. That's not what you want in a captain. Like, you need a captain to be a leader, somebody who either gets you minimum 7/10 performances every game, or who has the personality of a rock, essentially, that everybody can just, like, feed off in terms of confidence and the likes. But yeah, now the problem with this, the way I see it, like, this team, too many cooks essentially in the United kitchen. It's the manager, it's the convoluted structure above him, it's the coterie of former players who all have an opinion about everything that goes on in the club. It's the media who needs United to survive. It's the fans with our memories of good times past, and our everybody is a tactical on their own in their own right as well, right? And we occupy a lot of space in the media landscape too. So there's just a lot of cooks. And Amorim, when he first came, I think he recognized that by saying, "I'm going to take 6 months away and just work on the team," which unfortunately he hasn't had the chance to do because he's been given interviews left, right, and center. Very philosophical, very well spoken manager, but has spent too much time talking. Yeah, we need to show workings in January. Like, as the clock strikes midnight, January 1st, 2025. We need to be in the market, basically trying to make something happen so we can salvage what is looking like a disastrous season.
Big up. Yep.
Go ahead, Bombay. You were going to make a point before. People, we still not got 200 likes. Come on. We're dying here. Not
Come on.
dying, but you know what I mean. Man flu and all that. And I'm sat here and they get, honestly, it's the biggest insult to illness. 3-0. I won't mind if I'm getting beat 3-0 and 2-0 against them. Top 6, top 4, top 3. But we're getting smashed right, left, and centre by relegation, bloody fella. Teams that are like yo-yos, Wolverhampton, the Bournemouths. And now we deserve everything that we get. I'm a believer in that. I feel my heart breaks for the fans. Specifically the younger fans of Manchester United. My heart breaks for them. Because, oh my gosh, this must be so difficult for them. But for fans like me, this is what's always going to happen. You can't cut corners. You cannot have a rotten culture of a football and not for it to show on the football pitch. You cannot. I'm sorry, but you cannot. And it is what it is, people. So we've got to hold it. We've just got to get together and just communicate, analyze, disagree. We'd all have to agree with what do you think the solution is. But for me, until you get rid of the tumor at the heart of this football club that's infected everything, then we're not going to get anywhere. And Ralph Ranić told us he needs a surgery, major. But the surgery, he thought it was about the players. It's upstairs. It's upstairs where we need the severe surgery. I got friends who work for the football club. Some of them are scared in a time of cost of living crisis that they might lose their jobs. And these are people earning 20 grand, 25 grand a year, while these multi-millionaires are getting 2 fucking yellow cards and getting sent off. Can we just, in terms of balance, does anybody think the red card was not a red card?
It was criminal of Bruno. Very irresponsible. It was a red card.
Shameless. Yep. 100% a red. Second yellow, or you can even, well, it was a second yellow, obviously, but just shameless, remember? Absolutely shameless. No need for him to go in that tackle, mate. No need. That's our captain as well, by the way. That's our captain.
Yeah. Yeah. But Bombay, did you see any different? Did you think it was a harsh second yellow?
I missed the first one, bro, but no, it's he's gone for the ball. He's missed it. He's caught the guy. It's a yellow card. He's got to go. That's that simple. He's took a risk and he's paid the ultimate price, and he's going to get a major backlash. Third one this season, not great. But I mean, our problems, man, are so much bigger than just Bruno, and you know the functionality of the team, the lack of penetration, the inconsistency of. We're already at the point where really you are not exactly sure what you are going to get. Already we're at that point. With Ten Hag, it took a while to get there. We're there already. Maybe, to be fair to Amorim, it's mid-season. We're trying to change a million things. I don't know what's going on, but this is awful. We didn't deserve anything from the game today. Nothing at all. They just, they were so comfortable. So comfortable. It was really bad. I think my worry is this. I thought, given all the noise with regards to the financial constraints at Man United, prior to the advent of any new manager, I believe there will be some sort of understanding. Because if you look at what we've invested in, we've paid a lot of money for a lot of young players. Got a quite young team with some experience in there. Yoro, De Ligt, Xerxes, Rasmus Højlund, Ugarte, they're all young lads, Anthony. So I think, have we got the type of money to overhaul a squad? This is a very real concern that I have. And you add to that the fact that we struggle to shift players because the wage structure at Man United is generally higher than a lot of other clubs. Now, Marcus Rashford, yeah, it is 300 Gs a week. Maybe PSG can pay that. No, maybe Arsenal, maybe he says, okay, I'll go for 250. I'll be happy though. I think he'd be happy at Arsenal. He'd be nice on the left for them. And no worries, he goes with my blessing. It's not personal.
Never.
But
To
I'm
Arsenal.
just, bro. What do you want me to do? Forget it. Like Sancho, for example, he's playing well now at Chelsea and stuff. But thank God they came in. There wasn't really much options. But even if you look at a player that's on, I don't know, 120, 130, 140, this is still a lot of lettuce, man. Who's going to pay for that? Because they're not going to go to Arsenal. They're not going to go to PSG. They're going to go to a team, maybe a tier or two below. I mean, I say below, which is a bit of ironic considering we're 15th or 14th or some shit. But this is the issue. Is he come in thinking, all right, I can improve players? Because that's one of the things we wanted from the manager before him. You're not improving anybody. He's got to improve some of these players. Their understanding of what he wants has got to improve. Or do you guys think they're going to overhaul 7, 8, 9, 10 players if that's what it's going to? I don't think, even if they want to, I don't think they can.
Yeah,
Because
that's
of
not gonna happen.
FFP, we're already teetering on the borderlines, I think, with that. You're going to have to sell players to maybe buy some new ones. And when you say buy new players, are we going to go and sign like this left back kid we found? Are we going to be finding gems like Kante and Mahrez for cheap prices? That's another problem. Like, who's coming in? Do you know what I mean? This is Man United, bro. This is a club in a major crisis, but the pressure is so high. Are you going to be able to come in as a player and make the grade? It's very difficult when you consider all these facets of the vision of these players are no good and we have to change them. All right, it's all good saying that, but practically, I see a lot of obstacles to doing that. And I think he's come in, and even Tuchel would have come in with, no, we'll get you a couple, 1, 2, we'll sell a few. But these are the future. Can you do something with these? I think there might have been some sort of understanding like that. Personally, I could be way wrong, but I just think that because of all the sound, all the noise
Obama,
that's gone
all
before.
the
Do you know what I mean?
all the reporting is suggesting that Amorim is who they wanted. Amorim is the golden boy. He's the right one, right? He's not the chosen one, not the special one. He's the right one at the right
Right.
time.
Oh,
The
well,
hope for
I can see
Amorim, right?
that.
I think we all want to give the manager time. I think we all back the manager,
Yeah.
right? And the hope is that, like, regardless of the results, he is able to stay strong mentally. He's able to stay, he's able to stick to his principles. Because I mean, on the other hand, you can also look at, say, okay, shouldn't this guy be analyzing the Premier League? Is it possible? Because there's two elements of what it takes to be a good manager, right? One is the tactical side of things, being able to read your opponents, assess your team, figure out your opponent's weaknesses, and highlight your team's strengths. Tactical side. The other thing is the motivational charisma aspect of being a manager, right? So how are you able to communicate your ideas? Are your players, willing to run through brick walls for you? He seems to have that latter part, the charisma, down to a T, right? Very personable guy, lot of charisma, seems like a nice guy. But should is it possible that he maybe is figuring out the Premier League as he goes, right, and having a hard time essentially adjusting to tactical side of things, because he will not be the first manager who has come to the league and had to tweak his idea of football one way or the other. I think we saw some of that today. So even though Mazraoui was playing as the right wing back, he was a lot more, I guess, like inverted buzzword than he has been on other in other games. So yeah, the manager, I think, has his job cut out for him. It's a massive, extremely massive task. I'm gonna put my ear that I don't see us getting rid of 7 to 9 first team players and replacing them with the right 7 to 9 first team players. I think this league is so cutthroat that you're gonna have to walk and chew gum at the same time. There's nobody's going to get the
I'm
time
sorry,
to,
Sean. I totally disagree.
yeah, I know
Last
you
season,
disagree.
Nottingham
Yeah.
Forest signed 16 players. The majority of teams will take the hit of being deducted how many points getting found. Manchester United need an overhaul. They've got the guy. They interviewed him in the summer. They bought him to the quarter of the season done. So they're giving him they didn't give him a preseason. Now they have to back their guy. I'm sorry to say, Sean, No defending of the Glazers and the fucking Ineos right on this channel.
It's not
They
it's
have
not a
to back
defense
their
now,
guy.
and it's
I'm
unfortunate that
afraid
you hear it that way.
they're
It's not
going
a
to have to
defense.
go and break the bank and break the rules and take the hit. People, we need 50 more likes on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, because here we
It's
keep it
it's
real. People
it's
are
not a
telling me,
defense.
people are saying 5 at the back don't work. Yes, he can work, but you have to have the right type of players to play the wing backs. You need 2 guys who are super aggressive, who are ball carriers. You need number 10s who can operate in the pocket. I agree, like Bombay and majority of us all agree. In this, you need 2 midfielders that hustle for the ball. Kobe Mainu is not going to be the 2 in the midfield. He needs to be the number 10 of the pitch. And I really, really hope that Amorim looks at him in the next two games, because, well, he won't be available. After 2 yellow, you only miss 1 game in it. So he should play him against Newcastle. Put Kobe.
I don't think Kobe can play that position either, but
I think he can. Yes, he can. He's got a good close control. I think he's more imaginative in terms of the way he can drop shoulders and beat players than Bruno.
I think the number 10 requires a lot more running than Kobe can offer, which is why we've seen Mason Mount, Ahmad, Bruno, Garnacho be the ones who play in that position. I think it requires a lot of running.
You need somebody who can put the foot on the ball and actually turn and face up defenders. Ben, talk to me.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to comment there as well, Sean. Like when he was in the youth, at the time he did his position was a winger. He was a winger at one stage, and he was a forward. So he can play in that left hand role. He's so dangerous in that final third. He actually, like, and with a guy obviously next to him, Amad Diallo, him and them 2 together. Honestly, the link up play would be absolutely like be levels above what we're seeing right now. I'm telling you right now, he'll be. Forget about the whole press and shit. I just think them 2 like would just be like, that's just my ideal number 10s there. Like Mainu and Ahmad, just you can even see even under Ten Hag, there was at times even at the start of the season, that Brighton game, I think Mainu played up with Bruno obviously when Ten Hag used that 1 in the pivot instead of 2 in the pivot. I think there was like combinations there of Ahmad and Mainu linking up, and obviously we didn't obviously win the game at Brighton, but I would probably argue that was probably Ten Hag's best performance of the season.
They're good players, right? Kobe and Ahmad. And I agree with you that probably if the team was in a better place, right, at home against Tottenham Forest, for example, or at home against Bournemouth, you should be able to play Kobe Mino and Ahmad in those positions. But think about Bruno that we see there now. Think about Ahmad. Think about Mason Mount when he plays there. What type of situations do you often see them in when they get the ball or off the ball? Bruno on the left hand most often is running down the channel, taking on the defender. Or Ahmad is receiving the ball on the right wing flank, running at the opposition box. I don't want to see Kobe Baido in any of those positions now, right? I would rather see him more central, right? And it's possible that this system of play just doesn't suit who Kobe Mino has been so far. But on the other hand, as you mentioned, Ben, when he was in the youth team, he played on the wing. He's still very young. There's time for him to learn, new ways of playing. But yeah, I don't think it's as easy as saying, okay, these 2 guys play well. Let's put them in the number 10 position. I think the number 10 requires a lot more running than Kobe can offer us, right? I like the Kobe and Ogate midfield pairing. I actually like it, like, right? I think the manager needs to rotate a bit more in that position, right? Let Casemiro play some games. Let Eriksen play some games instead of Bruno as well. Right? If you're going to play Eriksen, give him the protection of Casemiro and Ugarte behind him because he can still play. The manager just needs to help us manage Kobe Mino because he's still an 18, 19, 20-year-old who shouldn't be tasked with the burden of, fixing Manchester United from 10 years of generational and failure. He needs time to just be a young footballer, blending into the team, learning his trade, etc. Which is why we probably most definitely need some signings. We need 3 signings in January, if you ask me. At least a striker, a midfielder, and a left wing back.
100%.
I think one thing with Amorim, we were all sat here, and it was by consensus. Eric Ten Hag is very stubborn. He's clearly struggling to execute what he wants, but he will not change. And when he did change occasionally, we had better outcomes, like in the against City. That's one game. Amorim is already coming out and committing what may be a cardinal sin. I don't know why. Sometimes you do things in the press to make a point to players, maybe, which is fair. I get that. It's a psychological game. You compel players depending on what you make public. So he says, I'm not changing. There is a possibility, like Ten Hag, maybe like Van Gaal, whatever you think of that era, that this ain't going to quite work for us, but I'm going to continue to do it irrespectively. And he might be held account to that. I hope if he's smart in the sense that, look, I can do something else. I can tweak things and not play exactly this way or play a different way because I have players to do it and do that and not be, foolish pride sort of get in the way. This system I like, but we are struggling sometimes when you play that three at the back and you commit men forward and you're dispossessed and teams are flying down and their wing backs are not afraid to get forward like you saw today in Ait Nouri and the other guy, what's he called? He was from Barcelona. Their captain.
Oh, Semedo.
Semedo. They saw a lot of the ball because when you play that three, there's a lot of spaces in the back there or defenders are going to get dragged out. And you saw Martinez today, he's not the quickest. So this is difficult. This is dangerous as well. So I don't know. That is another point on the board that I just hope he considers. Everybody wants him to succeed and stuff, but
100%.
at this point, after these last two games that were really winnable games, that really would have made the City result so beautiful and put us right in the mix, we would have been right now. Look at the results today. Everybody's losing. We've just gone the complete opposite way. And I don't know how you felt at Bournemouth, guys. Against City, I thought this is really good. I felt we got control, really nice. Against Bournemouth, it took about 25 minutes for me to realise, no, we're not going to get that today. And then,
my thing is that, like, I mean,
Sean,
Harry
one
Amas
second.
be...
Sean, can you just hold it there 1 second? Let me just explain something to the fan base. They're trying to freeze out. Ineos are trying to freeze out Casemiro. It's not on Amorim to pick him or not pick him. They're trying to pick him out because he's on the highest wage.
Yeah, facts.
That is the truth. But you don't want to accept that. So you rather blame Amorim. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, like, I mean, it's possible, right, that such a thing is happening in the background, right? Because Ineos in their cost-cutting mission, they might also be looking at Rashford and Casemiro as two very bloated, which I think most of the fans would agree, right? Very bloated wage bills that don't add as much value to the club as they receive in their weekly wages. Now, whether or not we'll be able to get rid of them, successfully in the summer, I don't know. Which is why the manager has to be smart in what he says in public, because you don't know who you're going to be left with in the same squad. And I think all he can do is what he has tried to do so far, which is hold the players accountable. So if you don't play well, you don't get into my team. Bench Rashford, benched Garnacho, which I think are big heads basically that he has tried to roll. But I'm wondering why I'm not seeing Harry Amas in left back. If you, Mr. Amorim, know that your style of play requires you to have a proper left-footed left back, why are we playing Dalot, who is guaranteed, right? So the first goal that Wolves scored today, that I think was offside or so, Dalot made a mistake. Dalot has been a weak link. He had a good season last season, right? He was the best player either last season or 2 seasons ago, whatever. But he's not the best at that left wing back position. Why not play Amas there? How bad can it be? Right? Okay, you're trying to be revolutionary, playing Ahmad right wing back. Why not play Anthony? Anthony, nobody wants to see Anthony up front. Why not play him as a left wing back, right? And give yourself like actual width in the game. So I think there would always be room for the manager's decision making to impact the game. From my perspective, right? That'd be number one disagreements with most of the guys on the channel. I think the manager has a role to play. So do the players. So do the ownership. So from the ownership, I'm expecting in January, like I said, I'm expecting some action because there's absolutely no way they can be serious if they actually give a damn about anything they've invested their money in. There's no way this January can go by without us making at least a signing or two. We need something to freshen up the squad. And then from the manager, I'm looking to him to harness the best from this squad. Like I said earlier, Christian Eriksen was one of the better players in the team before he came. Rude was onto something with Casemiro and Ugarte in midfield. Try and put together. I'm not saying change your style of play. Keep your style of play, right? Train, do your best, stick to your principles. But don't play Dalot when he's a guaranteed weekly, right? Play your strongest team. Try and get the best out of your players. Because it's you wouldn't get the he himself said it. You have to earn time, right? People are going to give you time, but you have to earn time. And I love the fact that he said it himself, that he knows that there's no way United will find ourselves actually in a relegation battle. Actually, in a relegation, maybe we may or may not go down. Because if you think you hate cost cutting now, wait till United are relegated. Everybody's getting sacked. The United machine, is too big, I think, to be relegated. And I don't know if we're ready for the consequences of such a thing as a fan base. So, this could get worse. I know everybody thinks it's really bad now. It could get worse than it is. And so everybody needs to act the fuck up. Ineos need to step up in January. The players need to step up. The manager needs to wake up and realize where he is. He's the biggest of big leagues, right? You're playing with the big boys now in the Premier League. It was all well and good in Portugal, but the United graveyard is filled with many managers essentially who backed themselves and eventually found themselves with grayer hair and a more tarnished legacy than they came with. So yeah, it's time to believe, but it's also time to work.
And the thing is, as well, I actually I didn't think Ugarte he didn't deserve that loss today. I think he was the standout performance in that whole game. Him and probably, well, even Amal in the first half, like them two just did not need that loss today. I'm starting to really like Ugarte even more, a lot more. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think he played well. I'm not going to lie to you. I think he played well. I think he was one of our better players against Bournemouth. I think he's been really good. Unfortunately, he's going to be missing in the next game, him and Bruno, because he's got 5 yellow cards or 6 yellow cards or whatever it is now, and he has to hold a game, I think. He's banned for 1 game. But at the end of the day, for me, I just look at it. They bought in a manager with 3/4 of the season to go. When they interviewed him in May, at the end of June, and he wants to play a specific type of football, and they want that. They want to revolutionize modern way of playing, where players can keep possession and we can go to toe with the big teams. And unfortunately, the profile players were set for another manager. So Ineos now have to, for all the money that they're saving, have to go and do it. They have to go and totally overhaul this squad and bring in players that can play his system. If they don't do that, people, he'll get sacked. Mm-hmm. Next guy will come in and he'll get sacked. Next guy will come in, he'll get sacked, and we're back to square one. Unless we get relegated, and then I hope and pray to God and to the universe that the Glazers and Ineos can F off and do one, and we go back to being a football club.
Yep. 100%.
I don't want to be relegated. I mean, I don't know.
I'm ready for it, bro.
We deserve to be. The mismanagement of this football club deserves relegation. Because
I don't think we're the worst managed club in the world. Yeah.
Manchester United in the last decade have been one of the worst managed football clubs or sports institutions in the history of sport. But
at least we can be relegated before 150 charges.
We've been papering over the cracks. And the day it started is the day we sacked Louis van Gaal, because he was the only coach that was going to coach players, got rid of a lot of the older players, was banking on coaching the young players to get the best out of them. Instead, we got him 4th, 5th choice players, and then he got the sack. He finished 5th on goal difference, 4th on goal difference. He was on goal difference short from finishing 4th. We were 4th with Man City. Pep Guardiola's first season.
Bro, Alesso, are you still there? I know it
Yeah,
hurts,
I'm
bro.
still.
It's all right. It's all right, man. Let it out.
Yeah, I'm not even. You know, with me, man, I'm not. I'm not even like I told you. I'm not even angry at this
I
point. I
know.
think it's
Mm.
it's pointless, to be honest. You get what I'm saying. We know what
Yeah.
we're gonna get, more or less, from these guys. So
Shit,
you know,
man.
it is what it is.
I wasn't expecting what we got, I'll be honest, man. We're on here giving predictions 2-1, you know. Bloody hell. Nothing, bro. Nothing, zero. Like, looking at this game, what the hell? I think Arsenal, Cunha to Arsenal, allowing him to, he's playing as a number 10 now behind
He'd be
that guy.
amazing.
I think he'd be good, man. I think he'd be
Oh,
tasty at Arsenal. You know,
Cunha would be
he's
I
unbelievable.
think we need him. I'm not gonna
We
lie
need
to
him
you.
more than Arsenal.
Yeah.
We need him for that
We
Bruno
need him
position.
more than Arsenal do.
bro. Do you know it's? I feel bad. We're killing people. They come here, we kill them. We bin them off. The list is so long. Managers and players. I don't know what to tell you. You know, let the
They
let the
come by
po-
it because
let the
brought
kid
onto
go.
the car.
No man,
I don't understand my
The
I
club
swear.
was brought onto the
what's
car.
it
What
to
do you
us now?
expect?
That's what I'm saying. It's just a merry-go-round. Honestly, we're
Yeah.
back here. It's the players. Some are saying it's the manager. Some are saying it's the structure. The structure, I think there's a consensus. Yeah, everybody would like the Glazers out, Ineos out, and maybe something just better, man, newer, more sincere.
Yeah.
Um, but man, I don't know what Amorim said. If I knew what the problem was with everybody previously, I could just fix it. Honestly, what is the issue? What £1 billion spent, 1 million players. We had some amazing managers. What's happened? We had Pogba, Martial, Di Maria, Sanchez. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
It's a key man risk come to life now, right? The key man in business they teach you about, like, one of the main risks in the business is key man. When there's such an important figure like we had in Sir Alex, right, who reigned supreme for 20 something years. And just by his sheer in the last 5 years or so of his reign, by sheer force of his will, he was able to paper over the cracks of the Glazers and get us a few more Premier League trophies. And now that he's gone, everybody else has spent their time trying to live in the shadow of the greatness, basically, and nobody has been able to live up to the expectation, because the expectation is just it's phenomenal relative to so Amorim says we're a big team but not a big squad, or a big club but not a big team. However I put it, right? The name is powerful. The name is weighty, but we haven't been able to attract the players basically to live up to what we all expect from so-called United players. That's just a problem. That he Amorim as United manager has to be a genius. There's really no room to do 2 + 2 = 4. He has to be exponential in whatever improvement that he's making to the team, because from my perspective, like there is absolutely no way, there's no room for an incremental, gradual. You have to be genius on the level of, Pep or Klopp, or dare I say even Ateta or Slot, as we're seeing now, or maybe even Maresca, right? Because the league is unforgiving. And as you think you are improving, other teams are improving as well and solidifying their position. So some fans will say it's time for us to reconcile ourselves with our mid-table status. Um, I disagree, right? And I think what we're looking for when we sign somebody like Amorim is that genius factor, that genius X factor from a great manager. The difference between a good and a great manager, to be able to come up with something, and he needs to be backed on that journey. But yeah, now you've saved 250K here, saved 2 million there. Go and spend it in January. Get us Cunha from Wolves, for example. Right? See if you can get us 350K off the wage book. If they're able to sell Casemiro in January, wonderful. Free up some wages. Go and sign two more players basically with that wage. Help the manager, go along his way. But yeah, if you want to look to the problem, look for the source of the problem. Look no further than the legacy basically of the club. It's proven impossible to live up to for everybody that has tried to since Sir Alex.
I'd like to
Yeah.
just come in there as well. Y- what you can do, I mean, is for a good start would be in January for Ineos to go to Benfica and get Alvaro Fernandez back to this club. Absolute
Nice.
shame what they did.
Right.
What absolute shame because we've got a buyback clause. We've got a buyback clause, and he is balling in Portugal right now, and we need a left wing back. Need a left wing back because Dallo cannot continue this form. He cannot. I'm not saying Dallo's a bad player. I think Dallo just can't play in a free in a back system. I just can't. I just don't think he can. I
No,
think
but it looks
Fernandez
like we're left with a few of those type of players now, don't you agree? That apparently can't play in this three at the back system.
backs.
Ruben
It's ex-
Amorim, so big up Khalid from Medin Lassie, people. Please make sure you check him out at Khalid from Medin Lassie. Mr. X, Mr. Twitter. He's there on top of every news at Manchester United, Chief Editor United Real Therapy. So please go and check him out at Khalid from Medin Lassie. Ruben Amorim, right now we have to survive. I start this job without having the time to train with many games, difficult games. We already knew it. The road is long. Man is a poet and he don't even know it. Owen Hagen was spot on here about Ruben. The only saving grace that they're not good, that they've got a really good manager, but it's going to be a lot harder than he thought. They're going to have to give him time. Well, time is the name of the game, people. Ruben Amorim says here, we have to work on many things in our club, on the pitch, off the pitch. So let us focus on every game, use every minute on the training ground to improve the team. But some people still want to stay with some people with this shit. And some people are telling me we're going to win the Europa League and they want to stay in Europa. Give this guy time on the training ground. People, we need 50 more likes on the video. Please subscribe to the channel. We keep it raw, it's real, and it's red on here. All the other fans come to troll us, the hate watchers. You're welcome. You're welcome. But just remember, we've seen it all. We won the lot.
Lord,
Yeah, like we're never gonna stop. Ole,
Yeah,
ole, ole, ola. Ah,
hated, adored, but never
seen
ignored.
it all and won the lot. Now we've got Diego the lot.
nice.
That's a timeout right there. That's a timeout right there.
Bloody hell, bro. It's you look back at the
That was
images. It's like
too
going
bad.
back to, like, is this real? Did this happen? Was it the treble, the leagues, the players, the managers? I'm
No,
thinking,
but do you know what even hurts the
This
most for my
what's going on?
what hurts the most is watching games like United away to AC Milan when we started with Darren Gibson and Anderson in midfield. And
Yeah,
I'm just trying to imagine today in 2024 what the equivalent of a Gibson Anderson midfield looks like. There were games where Fergie would play Rafael and Fabio on both wings, left and right wing. I'm trying to imagine today, what that would look like. It really hurts, man, if you think back to the time. As a young person waiting 2 years to see Rafael come from Brazil. Don't know a lick about the guy from Adam. Just know we signed some twins, from Brazil, and they're here to entertain us. And that was exciting, basically. Right. But yeah, no. If you reminisce, that I guess is the problem, right? So if you're a United player today and you look on TV, here is Scholes or Gary Neville or Berbatov or Evra
we need
or
the great
Rooney.
Sean. We need the great reset, bro. That's what we need.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
More than
this club. I don't know. I'm tuning in. I'm getting put through a washing machine. Um, I don't know. I'm getting nothing. I'm feeling zero. I'm just frustrated. It's so hard to watch this football. It offers you no entertainment, no moments, no joy. You're clutching at straws to come on there and say, this was good today. We did that. But generally speaking, man, it's like the road is long, It is long. And Amorim, I will be like this until the end. That sounds to me like once more
Like he's
into the
already thinking
breach, dear
about the end.
friends, already.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh
You know
my
the thing
god.
that there've been so many false
Listen,
dawns.
if you didn't realize what he walked into, now he knows, mate.
Oh, he
Now he
knows.
knows.
Bro, I've never seen a guy on the. I'm watching on the
He's
sidelines.
got grey hairs. He's not even
Grey
He's
hairs
seen
already.
it. He's got
Yeah.
grey hairs already.
And he
been
blanked
sacked.
Bruno as well when he came off.
Obviously, the guy is a very romantic guy. I think he thought he was gonna just he was gonna rock in and all the interviews. I'm the right
To be
one.
fair, he did
Everything,
say,
everything.
Sean, he said the storm is coming. He did
Yeah,
say.
I know.
Did, yeah.
He did say.
Facts.
I know. Because he recognizes, right? And I think so far the media, I think, has been relatively kind to him, and he does know how to handle the tough questions, basically that come his way. But it won't take long for a narrative to start setting in, and before he, like Big Ange, before he starts getting asked stupid questions over and over again. Um, Clearly with the intent to upset him or poke the bear, as Anne said. Um, but yeah, nah, everybody has their work honestly cut out to them. I do agree that the most important people right now, though, are Ineos. Ineos, all eyes on them and the ownership. They have to make moves in January. A low-hanging fruit like Fernandez, like Alvaro Fernandez, makes complete sense to me. If there's a buyback clause, just lick your wounds, count your losses, and get us a left back that can actually play. Because I think Malacia probably needs another 3 to 6 months of
Facts.
recovery,
Now he
Carling
needs
Cup
to be
playing.
loaned out. Sean, he needs to be loaned out where we could go and play regular
Whether
football right
that's in
now.
the form of a loan or something, but he needs some more recovery time. So we need a left wing back. So go and do like a low hanging fruit. Bring Alvaro Fernandez um back. I also want to see the manager. I don't know. Maybe try playing Toby Collier. He has legs. Maybe he's the number 10 solution or number 8 solution you're looking for. Um, Ineos, go and get me a striker, right? Osimhen looks happy in Galatasaray. I actually don't care. I think there are lots of fans who some don't like Osimhen, some like Osimhen. I honestly don't care at this point in time. I just need somebody else other than Hoyland or Xerxes. Because unfortunately for them, especially Hoyland is Mr. Potential. He has potential, but he shouldn't be anybody's starting striker. Least of all, United. He should be a sub player. This is when we should have had somebody like Cavani, um, right, for Hoyland to play with and or learn under. So go get me a Cavani type striker right now. Somebody who we can get for an affordable price, that's guaranteed to get us a few goals. And I can show these strikers that we have in the team what it looks like to be um in number nine. I don't know if we'll be able to solve our long-term, problems in this January window, but I think we should be able to get some temporary, fixes either from the Premier League or from elsewhere in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's going to take more than. Listen, we need wingers who can play as a left back, a winger who can play as a left wing back. We need a creative player on the left hand side. That's what we need. We don't need a left back. We've got left backs. We need a winger, somebody who can carry the ball, somebody who can beat people, somebody
Who's our
who can
left back?
isolate somebody. That's what Manchester United need. Stop thinking we need a defensive left back. We need a guy who can ball carry and who can score goals and who can go out to the byline and whip balls in for people running to the box. Big up Sheikh Ariam, by the way. People, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. We keep it raw and real. We're struggling out here, but we're still keeping going. We're still live and we're doing our bit. And happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you all. Don't worry about it. Manchester United have been masking it. We've been faking it, right? And we're not going to make it because we can't fake it for life. Manchester United have been faking it as a proper football club for a decade and a bit. And now the chickens have come home to roost. It's not an Amorim. These players didn't buy themselves. These players did not give each other these wages. The people who are responsible are a tumor in this football club. They need to be cut. They need to be surgically removed. Unless you get that in your head, then I don't know, I can't help you. Unless you don't get that in your head, can't help you. And for the people who are saying it's Amorim's fault, you don't bring in a coach who's got a distinct style of play and then pretend now you can't back him. And then give him a squad of misfits who couldn't even play Eric Ten Hag's football, never mind Amorim's football. Make that make sense to me. Make that make sense to me, United fans. Come on. I'm here. Talk to me. We'll go around. Sean, how was your Christmas? Let's end on something good cheer. You're in California here, the sun's shining. There's food in the fridge. You've had a good Christmas. It's the first one since you got married. How's the missus? How's the family?
Yeah, no, it was great. Lots of food, like you said. Ended up watching the NFL because we wanted to see the Beyonce halftime shows. The Baltimore Ravens versus I think the Houston Rockets. I think the Ravens won, but it was a dead game. But like I mean, like we live for this football Man United stuff, and it's extremely disappointing that Christmas has been sandwiched between two terrible games. Not just that we lost, but we lost quite woefully. But I'm glad I wasn't with my actual like immediate family because my dad is an Arsenal fan, and my brother supports Arsenal as well. So I'm glad to not be able to not have had to deal with that. But yeah, no, Christmas was fun. Lots of food, like you said, lots of food left in the fridge too. That's I would get to as soon as we're done with this.
There you go. Big up. Ben, how was Christmas in there in Ireland? How was it?
Yeah, it was good. Really good Christmas. Visit obviously. There was about 10 of us in the house yesterday, so obviously all the family came around, and yeah, I had a really good time. Majority just watched a wee bit of the Christmas movies, and most importantly, a big fan favorite of mine is Only Fools and Horses. Been watching
Oh,
a
I
lot
love
of
it.
love Only Fools and Horses. Absolutely love it. So yeah, no, just a good Christmas in general, and just obviously pity obviously it didn't snow on Christmas Day because I love that. I love the snow as well, but at the end of the day, you can't get everything like so. But apart from the most important thing is like the whole family came, we enjoyed ourselves, and that's it. We had a good time, and I think we're having the family over again in New Year's, so looking forward to that.
Yeah. Don't have them round on the day that we're playing. Just be careful. Be careful.
Up the
Otherwise,
Irish. Up
good
the
blueprint for a
Irish.
Christmas. That.
Bombay, what did you get up to, eh? Well, listen, let me just get this. Let me just show you the mismanagement of Manchester United. We'll come to Bombay in a minute. Big up Khalid Ramadan Lassie. Let me just present this to you here. This is how much the rot. These people should be in jail. I don't even believe in locking people up. I don't believe in jail.
Bloody do now.
Boy, oh boy. Look at this. Can you guys see that?
Yep. Jesus.
Can you see that then?
Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
Manchester United
Scroll down.
had player sales that generated 433 million and have only made accounting profit of 180 million in the same period. Their cash loss is 740 million, far higher than their rivals. The players sold originally cost Manchester United 1.175 billion.
Think, bro,
Where
that
are we?
Ineos has inherited also a mess. I'm not telling you anything good about Ineos, but Glazers are even worse. This shit now, like Amorim, for example, has inherited
Glazers
this.
still own the football club.
I know,
the
I know,
Glazers
I
are
know,
still
I
the
know.
largest shareholders of this football club.
I know.
I just want to remind you of this.
You know, when you have massive contracts, long contracts signed prior to the advent of Ineos, that's a mess they're going to have to take the hit on. Everyone is, if you want to get players out. Sancho, man, is one. Let's see Rashford, Casemiro. I think I don't know when it ends, but it's 350. You know what I mean? Who gave Cass a 4 year? Or was it 3 or 4 or 5? I don't even know.
It was 5.
Wow, 5.
Yep. Yep. Says it all.
5 years. Do you know what I mean, bro? So the pain will continue until that is fixed and it doesn't get repeated. This is part of the difficulty of player, team overhaul, new players. It's selling players. We've been having this problem for years.
Manchester United need to go and sign. We need to sign brand new players. But Bombay, how was your Christmas? Let's get back to the season's cheery. Let's not get depressed ourselves. Can you please find the tweet from Swiss Ramble if you can? I tried to look for it. I thought I saved it, but I can't find it. And when he talked about PSSR, please find that for me if you can. Big up. Go ahead, Bombay. What did you get up to at Christmas?
The same as we always do, man. Everybody gets together at the family house, put a few kilos on, watch a few Christmas films, and then hit a turkey. But I'm not big friends with turkey. I much prefer maybe a roast, a lamb or something in there.
Chicken.
Fish, mate, all day.
But there we go. We had turkey and then we had it again tonight, Boxing Day similar. I was going to watch the game at my mum's house, but my sister said, surely you can't watch them again. They're shite. She don't even know anything about it. She just knows that my team is shit. Because every time she asked me what's happened, I said, we're losing. I said, you know what? Fine. I'm going to go home and watch it. So, yeah, that was it, man. Thank God. Family,
Well,
food.
it's hard for me because my dad's a Leeds fan, so I have to
Oh,
suffer a wee bit because
Yikes.
they're top of the league right now.
you and Sean are like pinatas now, man. Bang, bang, bang
Hey,
from both sides.
We might be joining them.
Yeah, we may have to. Maybe.
Happy days at Ben's.
Let's go. What did you do at Christmas? What South African Christmas look like? You even celebrate Christmas over there? Talk to me.
Yeah,
Sexy
yeah,
December
it's crazy.
everywhere.
It's crazy, man. In during the festive season is the most craziest time in South Africa. Everyone, I think pretty much everyone knows that. Like,
Everybody gets
we
smashed.
had, yeah, we've actually we had our in-laws from the United States. My sister actually got married in the United States during like the
Congratulations.
COVID time.
Congratulations.
Congratulations
Yes.
to your sister.
So yeah, we saw her like she came through with her family and the in-laws as well. And yeah, we pretty much did spend a bit of time with them. And pretty much, I was during Christmas time, I was just at home, as usual. But you know, it's impossible for me to actually have like a Christmas where it's like I would sleep peacefully because I live opposite a stadium, and not just here where I'm at here. Also in Johannesburg, I think my dad just had a knack of, because he loved football so much. So we live opposite or near two football stadiums. The one in Joburg, I live near Chris Brown was performing, and
Oh yeah,
he
he
pretty
sold out.
much,
Chris Brown sold out 2 nights, didn't he?
yeah,
94,000.
yeah. So it was crazy. Like you could hear the sound all the way from that stadium. So it was like right now I also live opposite another stadium, and it was crazy. There was a concert taking place there. So with me, I'm just used to the noise at this point. But yeah, it was a good Christmas. The roads were messy.
Let's go.
How it
If you
is.
can't beat them, you need to go and join them, man.
Nah, I'm not an outdoor person. I'm more of the indoor person. I prefer being indoors. But yeah.
You're not out here, man. You're not out here doing some of the crazy dancing around the bottle. No, you're not doing that. We got to all those
Yeah.
people, man.
What about you,
Well-
Jordan? How's your Christmas?
Well, Christmas has just been me and Scholesy. Friends have bought me food. People have bought me medicine, all sorts. Yeah, I've just been ill, man. I've been in bed, full of it for the past how many days. So looks like I'm gonna be in for the next couple of days as well. But yeah, big up to everybody. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, all my Christian people out here worldwide, and I want to wish everybody who's having time with family and friends happy holidays. And we want peace in this world, innit? We pray and we hope for peace. But unfortunately, for the second Christmas in a row, there are people getting genocided in Gaza, in Palestine. And this is the birthplace of Christianity. Birthplace of fucking Christianity. Birthplace of Christianity. And guess what? The Zionists are murdering Palestinian children, right, left, and center as we speak right now, and genociding the people. So spare a thought. Jesus was a Palestinian. He was a Palestinian Jewish man. And look what's happening to the birthplace of Jesus and what's happening over there. So at the end of the day, people, count yourselves so lucky and have so much gratitude. You've got your health, because health is wealth. You've got your family, you've got your loved ones, you've got your friends, and you can afford to even watch football and, you know, take in and have the time to do that while there's genocides, famines all over the place. So we say free Palestine, free Lebanon, free Congo, free Sudan, free Haiti, free Ogaden, free Tigray, free everywhere where the world where people are oppressed, whether their ethnicity, their religious views, their orientation, their gender. Free the people, whether it's local, international, or domestic. Sorry, national or domestic or global, right? Whether it's local, it's national or international. And hold tight to all the people who are doing all that they can, week in, week out, marching for Palestine all over the world. Do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. The least we could do is march and keep their names alive while people are getting genocided. Fuck imperialism. Fuck capitalism. Fuck corporations. Fuck all these colonizers, and always stand with people who are resisting Zionism, colonization, imperialism, military corporatism, all of it. Solidarity and love. And Happy New Year to you all. Hopefully we'll be live maybe tomorrow or the day after. We play on Monday, right? What's the date? I'm losing track of the days. Today's the Thursday. So most likely be live on Friday with Saeed for the build up to Monday. Big up to all of you. Love and like. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And yeah, we keep it raw and real on here and it's red, because we don't sugarcoat anybody. Everybody has their different views on here, and we let people come on here and say what they want to say as long as they're being respectful. So we're 10 likes away from 300, which would be amazing. So people, please smash a like on the video. And yeah, F Zionism as well.
Big up, guys.
While we're there. But yeah, make sure people, make sure you follow the people. Make sure you check out at Ben Elmore 3939 on Twitter. Make sure you follow at Sean Thomas on Twitter. And make sure you check out the geopolitical podcast. It's called How We See Things, across all your podcast providers. Bumbaye, you'll never see him anywhere else. Make sure you follow at Black Rain, other than you might see him Tactical Devils. And I'll be adding a link here for Tactical Devils. So please make sure you follow Jarvis's channel, Tactical Devils. Make sure you follow him. The link is here. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. And make sure you subscribe to his channel, and let's get into 1,000K. Jarvis does everything, helps everybody out. So please go over to that channel and subscribe to his channel, and make sure you give him a subscribe. Yeah, if it means we get relegated, to get rid of the Glazers, I'll bite your hand off. Manchester United got relegated in the 1970s. We came back, and there was more fans in the stadium after we got relegated. So it is what it is, people. But yeah, big up to every in each one of you, and enjoy the rest of your holidays and time with the families and friends. Don't worry about Manchester United. Unfortunately, none of us have the power to make significant change. We can only talk about our
Okay.
wishes. We pray that the tumor at this football club needs to be cut, and may it be cut sooner than later. Love, light. Jim, the rap, the Glazers out. Been like that from day dot, people. So love and light, people. Love and light. Look after each other, and wish you nothing but good health. Big up Sheck as well. Get well, Nura. Make sure you use some herbal teas, man. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Love and light, people. Look after each other. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night, guys. Good night.